Warrior, I am a leader, I am a strategist, I am a scholar, and I am a destroyer. For untold thousands of years, I have walked the world in search of bloodshed, for coin, power, and the thrill of violence and cruelty. As king of Lagash, I fed the defenders of Umma to the vultures. I built a great pyramid for the god king of Kemet. I flooded the streets of Troy with the blood of King Priam's subjects, and I razed the grand city of Hattusa, casting its kings into the rubbish heap of history. I bathed the lands east of the Indus in the blood of the Kauravas. For Assyria, I sacked Egypt and abducted its gods. I dragged the people of Israel in chains because I felt cruel, and then helped them return because I felt generous. I sat under the Bodhi trees with Prince Gautama. I exploited the internal strife of Zhao and conversed with Kongzi and his peers. I left my mark in Tenochtitlan, constructing great stone heads in my likeness and teaching them the joy of blood sports. I filled chests of gold, selling my sword to the endlessly warring Poli of Hellas. I marched with Alexander and won great battles as his companion, and then dragged the lands he had conquered back to the reign of Chandragupta. I served Baichi the human butcher and witnessed him bury the hordes of Zhao alive. I sacrificed men to Jupiter to fill Rome with the resolve to resist and defeat the terrible Hannibal. I witnessed the meteoric rise of the greatest empire, sometimes as its enemy, others as its ally. I met the great warrior queens of Lac Viet. I chronicled the trials and tribulations of the three kingdoms. I saw that greatest empire fray at the seams, only to knit itself together under the golden visage of Aurelian, devotee of the indomitable sun. I saw the greatest empire enslave its own people to prolong its life, and cling to the word of God as its grasp upon the world slipped away. As a destroyer and pillager, I reminded them that no divine providence could protect them from steel and cruelty. I witnessed the kings east of the Indus impose on their subjects a divine duty, telling them that the gods had decided how they would spend their lives before they were even born. I watched the people of Zhonghua devour themselves again, leaving a permanent mark in their very soul. I tested the greatest empire's faith as I handed them their greatest defeats as the commander of the acolytes of Mecca, and watched them with interest as they overcame my challenges and came together stronger. The old lands of the greatest empire were now split in two, and I was eager to fight for both as my whims decided. I marched with conquerors like Ivar, Knut, Basil, Rurik, and Carolus Magnus. I saw Christendom and the Umma climb over mountains of bodies in search of their identities. I slew Thorfinn's companion with an arrow, driving him away from the world across the sea. I played Christendom and the Umma against each other, taking their precious relics for my collection. I traveled the eastern seas, exploring the bejeweled islands and meeting their hopeful settlers. Then, once the world had descended into enough chaos, I descended to harvest the fruits of mankind's labor, riding with Temujin and Hulegu and trampling the world under my steeds' hooves, taking their riches and leaving them with desolation and nightmares for years to come. And I watched with glee as the greatest empire that had caused me so much grief in the past died a painful death. I helped humans build terrible weapons of iron, lead, and black powder, and watched with mild interest as these inventions brought endless death to all lands walked by men. I saw them argue over books, thrones, and ways of life, and come to lethal blows when they could not agree. I saw the kings of Iberia lay claim to the world for God and for shining gold and silver, and the empire of Nippon cloister itself in the cacophony of battle cries. Then humanity at last began to change and question tradition, question whether it was worth acceding to the demands of their long-gone ancestors. I conversed with their greatest minds, who imagined mankind becoming something much more, something more free and prosperous. And I was amazed when through that drive for freedom, the greatest empire began again. All the while, I continued to take lives, ripping out the hearts and heads of foes at Delhi, Blenheim, Poltava, Zorndorf, Fontenoy, Assaye, and Yorktown. I watched Europe be bathed in blood as a man of France they called the new Kaiser put his enemies to the sword until he and his men gave out. It had been thousands of years, and still humanity was not eager for peace. The world was ignited by revolutions, and disagreements over thought, borders, new machines, associations of merchants, and souls ended in carnage again and again. The so-called brother of the Christ brought Zhonghua to its knees. Nippon rose to become a great empire. Great heroes fought to free slaves and serfs of their chains. The new greatest empire called America declared themselves the strongest, and the mighty powers of the West divided the lesser polities among themselves. And all the while, the eternal war between kings and priests began to give way to a new war between peasants, workers, and owners. For all my machinations and conquests across history, humanity fell out of my control, and they fell upon each other like frenzied beasts in two wars to end all wars. They killed and killed again until they could kill no more, and I killed along with them, and directed their commanders how to kill even more. And at last, I grew wary. I remembered how an ancient power had given me a mission to save humanity, or at the least forestall their destruction. But now, first I wondered, could humanity be saved? And then, I wondered if they were worth saving. For all my life, I knew nothing but bloodshed. My body is now covered in scars inside and out, and my dreams are haunted by the cries of the people I've butchered. I was addicted to violence, and now the time had come for me to withdraw. Sometimes I would relapse, fighting not as a general but as a soldier. But most of the time, I sat and waited, meditated. The powers that be ravage the planet they live on and pit the weak against each other. Rich, old men commit the vilest deeds in plain daylight. Men, women, boys, and girls grow weak, feeble, and hopeless, with no will to forestall their own destruction. You will not heed my warnings. You are too proud for that. So instead of telling you of the future, I will instead tell you of the past. Of the mistakes your ancestors made so that you may not repeat them. Of the worst of your predecessors so you may not become like them. But also the greatest of your heroes and the greatest triumphs of your race itself, so that maybe you can strive for greatness once again. My name is Zosimus Tarkus, and the time has come for me to lay down my arms and teach the youths of this world about the people I have met, the lessons I've learned, and the civilizations I have seen rise and fall. Welcome, creatures of all ages. Um, we have been talking for a while because someone has the wisdom to not have a 7-minute long intro. This is Gamerviris. All roads lead to him, and all roads lead to the end of humanity and the greater evil.
Good evening, everyone. And my dear brother, of a sorts, has graced me enough to teach me this game of long distance past. And it's a pleasure to see you all once more. Could you remind me of the server name for this game?
OPR VTubers.
Thank
Wait.
you.
And the password is, well, I put it in. Don't say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
There are quite a number of people who like to lurk around, just come into game rooms and then flip the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily it's not. You can just press Control Z. It's not like in real life where you have armies of plastic worth um, more plastic than what's in my skull, than the microplastics in my left testicle. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, that's not actually a joke. Microplastics are like investing our bodies right now.
Yes, I remember. But I like to think light of that because, well, honestly, I've lost track to how many metals are inside of here.
So this is a original campaign. Sir Virus is a avid writer and storyteller like myself, and and I asked him for help on a original campaign for this game because One Page Rules, despite being a small despite being a small spin-off game company for of Games Workshop content, it has godly writing. Like I remember with my friend Cara Malone, the cosmic embodiment of entropy. I actually did a playthrough of a campaign starring the Ratmen and the Demons of War in the fantasy spin-off of this, Age of Fantasy. It had amazing writing. It like I was on the edge of my seat even while reading it. So we have a lot to meet the standards of. And I think we can do it because the thing is, I originally wanted this to be Havoc Brothers, basically Chaos Marines versus goblins, space goblins. But um,
We decided to do a different approach, where we do the Havoc Marines versus the Soul Snatchers. And they have taken a very insightful deity into their own. And we won't spoil the story now.
yes, you see, Virus, just like me, is an enthusiast of classic pulp literature. Um,
And I decided a little thoughts. These soul snatchers, what if we took a idea from, I don't know, Mr. What was his name again? Oh, Mr. I remember he made the names for the life of me. Zosmus, what was his name again?
well, the guy with a very famous black cat.
Yes. We'll say that. He was scared of everything, to say the least, and I decided, through his inspiration that he gave me for this idea, we would make it for one of his deities to have their hold on these soul snatchers. And in the story, we'll just say a little trouble arises when one of a cult just happens to be with the soul snatchers on a planet. Isn't that right, Zosmus?
That's correct. That's correct. You see, you see, time passes. Time passes. Hundreds of years go on. Humanity changes beyond comprehension, but some things refuse to go away and die, and eventually they pass on to. And eventually they pass on across time and space.
Exactly. So let's just say some old beings decided to find themselves the soul snatchers.
In strange eons pass, and strange eons pass, and the hunter becomes the hunted. So let's get started. So let's get started, Ed, shall we? Um,
We shall.
I will read this out loud. Well, after this, get ready to read my at your end. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Where's the music? That's funny. Why is the music not playing? Oh, there it is. Okay. Um, as soon as humanity envisioned a greater power. Oh, okay. Music isn't starting yet. I want to announce this first.
Take your time, dear brother. We have all the time of stream.
As soon as humanity envisioned a greater power, they began to fear it. The first gods brought rain and thunder. They shook the ground and drove away the things in the dark. But then they began to make demands. The gods became angry, demanding sacrifice in exchange for favor or simply for staying their wrath. Before long, the god wanted more, and rather than settling for his acolytes giving him things, threatened terrible consequences for behaving in a way he did not want. For the most devout, he was everywhere, watching every move they made and every thought they dreamt. Yet, when the remnants and refugees of man and woman forever lost their home among the stars they had always known, They lost their memory of the divine as well. When their holy relics ceased, and when their holy relics in cities, material remnants of past miracles were left behind, the miracles ceased, and the lessons of the prophets became a distant recollection. Sometimes scholars and priests of the new ways wondered, had the old god ever existed, his miracles merely been tricks of the mind? Or was it something much worse, that he had chosen not to follow them? He simply did not care. The music on. Okay. The stars doubled in number before Persei's eyes, and fused together as she wobbled on her feet before the bridge window. It was not a true Havoc mass if the disciples' senses were still in full control afterwards, with dark blood of sacrificed animals staining the champion of Havoc's chocolate brown skin, with obscenely toxic alcohol dripping out of her clothes. Persei wondered if she should clean herself up before her daily session of rumination before the stars. But with the Iron Garden rapidly approaching the site of the Warband's next ritual of carnage, time for anything other than the discipline of battle was running short. As the Warband's champion, Persei the Axe Mistress was obligated to lead the Dark God's lavish rituals, be it summarily executing defenders who refused to give in to their piratical demands, burning the first share of looted supplies and offering to their infernal patrons, or simply gathering and pleasing the gods in the disciplines of war, change, plague, and lust. She would always be at the center. In the Havoc brothers and sisters' eyes, her martial prowess and record of bloody kills were a symbol of what men and women could be if they gave themselves body and soul to the darkest of forces. And yet, the words she shouted in praise of the gods were getting more and more empty. Why wouldn't they be? It had been many years since the Dark Gods, or even one of their envoys, had whispered in her ear. Her command over martial arts and tactics had reached their zenith, and there was nothing left to do but maintain her skills. More importantly, though her warband prayed and killed, it was for no clear goal. The leaders of her sect rarely reached out to her for any greater mission, content with them simply making themselves useful. Her brothers and sisters, in awe of Persei's exploits, looked to her for guidance, but now she wondered how much she could give. "You were excellent as always, my lady," the recognizable voice of the young cult master named Cornelius chirped behind Persei. "The rousing sermon, the bloody sacrifices, the heart-pounding revelry, the dark gods have set her insides on fire." Persei's eye turned and looked into the eyes of the boy, face tattooed with emblems of the four, and eyes hungry for even greater sensation. To call him devoted would be doing him a disservice. For the dark gods, he was a willing living tool, a weapon. Have they spoken to you recently? Do they have any guidance for the assault? The cult leader smiled even more brightly. Persei's eyebrows raised. Was this it? "I had a dream last night, my lady. The dark gods, they bathed me in shadow as I slept. They told me things." Cornelius was a powerful Psy Witch, but still, Persei was their champion. Why had they come to him, after all these years of ignoring her? Do we need to change course? Not at all, Cornelius's eyes filled with hope and religious fervor. This was all part of their plan. Everything's led up to this. They told me that on the world we approach, if we do their bidding, they'll give us everything. They'll give us all the power and the glory there is. That didn't sound like the Dark Gods. Or at least, as far back as Persei could remember, they rarely ever offered to give their disciplines things, even for the ones who gave back the most. Instead, they made them stronger, so that they could take their heart's desires for themselves. But Cornelius was not only a talented psychic, but also a charismatic leader. Persei had taken over 20 years to become master of her own warband, while Cornelius was only 16 years old and already a leader of a zealous cult. If the Dark Gods truly were telling the truth, Lady Persei, Josep, sergeant of Persei's bodyguard, stepped onto the bridge. "We'll be in orbit of planet Lonwich in T-minus 4 hours and 40 minutes. The armory is in perfect condition. The possessed are awakening from their sedatives in the hold, and our brothers and sisters are fueled in spirit by the Mass, ready to unleash at your command. The champion per se would worry about the visions later. As far as she was concerned, it was just a raid on a mostly abandoned mining base, just like they had planned. No, deep down, she felt like it would be more than that, even by just a little. She smiled lightly. I could feel it. The slaughter will truly be glorious today. Alright.
On that they have found. In the caves below, the sounds of iron striking against boots echoed through the abyss. Swallowed by the darkness that was visible, the small bits of broken form laying on the floor, and the life stolen from their eyes. Crack of splintering bones and the steady drip of blood echoed like leaking faucets. In the silence, small creatures fought amongst themselves for the scraps of flesh, snarling and tearing at one another for what remains. Endless twisted faces feasted upon the bodies, ripping apart the newly lifeless souls, and that wandered into their domain. Towering, malformed figures stood among them, their limbs bending and snapping with sounds of rusted springs and broken joints. Their bodies pale and multicolored, with their teeth like hooks pulling flesh like pieces of offshore fish. Breaking this world has been easy for them. They've hunted the vanguard till nothing remained. Now they dwell within the mines, where the last remnants of their prey once hidden, not caring for the canned food or the once other of their vegetarian food. Once they found the many of corpses, they dragged them deeper into the darkness, countless victims fallen into their grasp. The warped forms envisioned the memories of their prey, of a lost world, of their endless hunger. Wretches estranged from their species, behaving like their homeworld had nothing for them, and the greater thing awaited beyond the stars. Now they lay there lifeless, under hooked teeth. What was once their own kin, siblings, children, cousins, who obtained these gifts, the moment they seized new souls entering the walls, curling among them, finding sounds where they were, and following them, clawing across the walls and the ceiling themselves. And finally, once they saw them, they found that one of their fallen captors, who apparently hid among the corpses, was running right towards them, finding their chance to escape, with the horde right above them, watching, not even noticing that they escaped, looking only towards the new prey at the door. Or should it even be described as a door? They simply looked at them, and then, letting out a thunderous roar, guns rang through in metal-clasped assault. The battle has just started. Now, dear brother, would you allow me a moment? The server seemed to have kicked me and shut down my central processor, not allowing me to do anything, so I may have to take a break for a second to fix this.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'll be right back, everyone. And keep them entertained while I'm gone.
Alright, so this map is made out of a jumble of stone terrain of stone terrain using somewhere between 15 to 20 pieces. This is supposed to envision like a somewhat large space within a mine. However, I will point out that this is not firefight. This is not a skirmish game. This is the full Grimdark Future game. So eventually we will be bringing in vehicles. So yeah, most of this terrain is difficult, with exception of the hills, which are these little hills, which are just cosmetic, and these large rocky outcroppings and walls, which are impassable. So yeah, let me just introduce my army. We have Cornelius. Cornelius is a psychic cultist leader. Oh, he's back.
I have returned.
So I'm just explaining my army. So Cornelius is a psychic cult leader. He has fairly low combat stats, quality 5 plus and defense 5 plus. He has some decent weapons. He has a light machine gun with three attacks at 24 inches. He has a sinister blade, which is an energy sword with rending, with bane, which means essentially poisoned. And he is a caster. He is a caster, which means he can cast Havoc Brothers spells. And he makes his unit fearless. Fearless basically means that if his unit fails a morale check, he can roll again, and on a 4 it passes. Then we have Perse the Axe Mistress, champion of the Iron Garden. She is quality 3 and defense 3, meaning she hits on a 3 and blocks hits on a 3. Her axe is called Dark Finesse, which is AP2, meaning it ignores 2 points of the enemy's of her target's armor. Deadly 3, which means it does 3 wounds instead of 1 per successful hit, unblocked hit. And it is precise, which means it is 1 point more accurate, which means she always hits on a 2 to 6 instead of just a 3 to 6. So that is something I will point out. Axes are actually not the weapons of brutes of dumb brutes. Axes are finesse weapons. They require a lot of skill and practice to make the most of. They're dueling weapons as much as swords.
Allow me to help you, dear brother. As I have found in my travels, I have found many of axes. Though yes, they are used for hacking and slashing, many axes with a long handle will be used both at the very end of the axe and the middle to better maneuver around and better for spinning. So you may take an end of an axe and swing it like an axle, or say like you would swing a pendulum. That would create a greater force like you would a sword.
Exactly, exactly. It depends on what part of the handle you swing it from, and also my favorite part of an axe, grappling. You can use the curve at the bottom of the axe to grapple enemy weapons.
Exactly, which is why I always like a good grappling weapon whenever I can. Especially if I were to have my own weapons, I would have them being able to grapple the enemy's weapon and disarm them, creating a greater or easier sort of kill, if you will. Which also makes me despise range weapons. They're so unprofessional and so not fun. Makes it boring. Makes it who can ever pull a trigger faster.
No,
Wouldn't you agree?
I wouldn't say that. Say that one of the most important aspects of gunplay is positioning. Positioning and movement, moving between cover, moving to unexpected positions. Um, uh, uh, historically, melee-based warfare has almost always been entirely been focused on very tight-knit formations.
Mhm.
Yeah, the thing is, melee-based warfare with swords and spears, they are not. It is not about strength or skill. It's about discipline. It's about standing together in a formation and pushing against the enemy until one side blinks.
Yes, but I do find that better than just pulling a trigger, because in human history, when I've learned about it, I've found that the morale has much less lowered, or rather, has gained higher ever since the invention of how far they can hit an enemy. And no fault that this is a very sensitive subject, but I say this with all certainty. The farther away you can hit an enemy, the less you'll feel bad than it. So certainly I would have a sort of respect for melee combat and the people who did do it.
Like the
But
Joker says, knives are so much more personal.
exactly. Definitely would make it feel more inclined that I would have some respect in order to get close enough to try and do it. That's why I don't use any part of me that is meant for ranged. Well, not often. And certainly a teacher himself can understand the discipline and respect that someone would want.
I can truly see that. I mean, anyone who thinks that who thinks that that it's okay because it's okay because as war means winning at any cost should re-examine that thought when they are in the face of drone warfare. Drones are easily some of the most impersonal forms of killing because you don't even need to be in the same geographical region as the person you're killing.
Exactly. Which also brings the idea that, in what I like to say when I was proving my point to the humans themselves, I never brought myself to hack any of their media or try to eliminate them all instantly. No, I wanted to give them a fighting chance to prove my point. I gave them the ability to fight back. And what did they do? They ran and hide or tried to find a different way to get me to stop. Some of them did fight, but not in the way that but not in the way I asked them to, which I can respect. Warfare is not meant to be fair, but I did want my fun.
So per se, the
But
axe mistress, she has yeah, her gun meanwhile is something called a Havoc Magnum, a custom weapon, a custom made pistol that can hit harder. Instead of just AP1, it is AP2.
hmm,
Meanwhile, her bodyguard unit is yeah, we have her bodyguard unit is a unit of Havoc Brothers, of 10 Havoc Brothers. Most of them have rifles. They are one attack and AP1, and all Havoc units have a unit called Havoc Bound. Have a rule called Havoc Bound, which means that if shooting at an enemy from over 9 inches away or charging at them, their attacks get +1 AP, which means that if she's shooting from over 9 inches away with her gun, her pistol can penetrate tank armor. After that, she also gives her unit rending in melee. Uh, uh, Rending in melee. Rending means that if she rolls to hit, if a unit with rending rolls to hit and rolls a natural 6, that attack becomes AP4, meaning completely ignoring armor. In addition, rending attacks all ignore regeneration. I think some of Virus's units have regeneration. I'm not sure.
yeah, yes, you said specifically the mutant soul snatchers and the souls. No, wait, it was just the mutant soul snatchers and I believe the heavy brutes that had the ability for regeneration, right?
That is correct. Then we have, mm, yeah. Also there's the sergeant of the unit, Josep. He has a energy sword, which is two attacks, AP1 and rending. Although that's rendered irrelevant by per se's aura. And he has a plasma pistol, which is one attack with AP4, meaning it ignores armor.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 10 cultists. 8 of them have standard rifles. However, one of them has a plasma rifle, also one attack in AP4, and another has a grenade launcher. It is 24 inches, same range as rifles, and and it is blast 3, meaning that if it hits, it's multiplied by 3. So the one hit is multiplied by 3 if the unit has 3 or more models. And finally, we have the Chosen. These Chosen are no, these Chosen are have been specifically selected for their deeds by the Dark Gods, and as such have been filled with an unnatural power. An unnatural power that allows them to attack with great strength and shoot with great accuracy. Among the so one of them has a shred rifle, essentially a very precise machine gun. It is 2 attacks and rending, but somewhat shorter range, 18 inches instead of 18 inches instead of 24. 2 of them have rifles. One of them has a rifle with a plasma wad, which means once per game he can shoot a single shot of plasma. One of them has a flamethrower. It is 12 inches as range. It always hits on a 2 and has blast 3. And finally, the sergeant, who has an energy fist. The energy fist is AP4, meaning ignores armor and 2 attacks. That is my army. Then we go to viruses.
Mm-hmm. We have ourselves the Soul Snatchers themselves, which I do believe they have 2 claw attacks and a... I'm looking at what you told me they are able to do. Yeah, 2 claw attacks, and they are able to produce spells with the spell tokens. Both the mutant and the regular Soul Snatchers are able to do that. Then we have the minions with their rifles, as well as their melee. Most of them are normal minions and the Neopin shotguns, and their leader with the web pistol. Most of them at their range are described as close range, usually 6 inches. I'm correct with that?
Shotguns, I believe, have. Let me see. Shotguns have 12-inch range.
Mm-hmm. And the others are 16.
No, the rifles are 24-inch. They have the same guns as my cultists.
Alright, then. Then we have our Alkalite hybrids, which I do believe should be with... Nope, they are the same.
Right, the Acolytes have pistols and claws.
Yes. And I see 2 leaders?
Wait, where did I put it? Oh yeah, that's right. One of them has a heavy cutter. Basically a chainsaw.
Right here.
Oh, never mind. No, this one is just supposed to be...
A regular Acolyte?
Yes.
Then we have the heavy brutes. We
These
also
are
have a
the game
hammer brute in
changers.
here. Yep. Which, hopefully, they will be good. They mostly will be served as a what most people would think a frontliner and for damage spuns, but not for my idea. And let's just say, if my if mine win, we will certainly have a predicament for the Chaos Marines, wouldn't we, brother?
Indeed, indeed, it truly does appear that the hunter have become the hunted. The followers of what they believed were the darkest powers in the universe have glimpsed into a void more vast than they could ever have imagined.
Mhm.
So here is how the mission is going to go. The first mission, the Lawn Witch Horror. A mysterious swarm is in the midst of gorging themselves on the flesh of planet at Lawn Witch's miners. Hold on, and are still ravenous for more nourishment. Wait, this would be a good time to put on the music. Can you hear it?
I can hear it fine.
And are still ravenous for more nourishment. Meanwhile, the Havoc Brothers of the Iron Garden were expecting to sweep away the defenders of a barely trained garrison, not something much more sinister and twisted. The two cults are unprepared for one another and must adapt to the unexpected engagement. So, um, the Soul Snatchers must deploy all of their units in Zone B, which is the blue zone. Meanwhile, I must deploy all my units in Zone A, the red zone.
Hmm.
Uh, all right. First of all, let's see who gets the first. Mm,
Let's see who goes first,
no,
brother.
no, no. Before that, we have the special rules. No, the most important special rule, which is hold your ground. I will need to set up a total of D3 plus 2 objectives within this range outside our deployment zones. Let's get a dice roller. And D6s. I forgot how long football games go. Edo, have the aliens arrived yet?
Have the aliens arrived yet? I do not know.
All right. 3 objectives. Wait, actually, no, I want to be clear. Can there be that many objectives that fit into this area?
I think 2 should be fine.
Yes, they can. It's large enough.
Hmm.
Okay, so yes, there are 3 objectives because it's D3 plus 2.
I think that would be 4.
All right, I
There.
will put 1 objective. I will put 1
Mhm.
objective here. Um, might not be wise to put it in a place where my back is against the wall, so I will put it one of them right here. Uh, one right here. and one right here. So how the hold your ground works is at the end of each round. Okay, first of all, there's the morale break rule. Once a player's army loses more than 50% of their units, rounding up, every turn they must roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, their army routs and they lose. At the end of each round, if a unit is within 3 inches of a marker while enemies aren't, then it's seized. Markers stay under the player's control even after they're leaving, but if units from both sides are contesting a marker, then it becomes neutral again. If a player controls 2 or more objectives, then if their army falls below 50% of its units, then they gain +1 to their d6 roll and whether or not they rout, which means that they only rout on a 1 instead of a 1 to 2. But if they get through a control of 3 or more objectives, then if their opponent's army falls below 50% of its units, then their opponent gets -1 to their d6 roll, which means that they roll a rout on a 1 to 3. So the objective is to basically gain ground and survive. Basically, the one who blinks the first loses, as mentioned before.
Of course.
All right, so you must deploy first. Put all your units in Zone B.
Mm-hmm. Should it be before or... Nah, I'll just see to it. And, let's see here. And Zone B is inside or outside the blue?
It is outside the edges of the blue, which means that basically it can be within the blue or it can be outside.
Alrighty then. Then I will place my minions there. Place my mutant soul snatchers.
Remember, if they clump together, select them all and press 1 or 2.
And rotate. Oh lord.
Click Q to rotate. Hold Q to rotate.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, this should be the right spot for them. Alright. Have the mutant ones over there. And if I calculate... And you said I could also move 24 inches away from the starting point, correct? Or let's just say a good 14? 14.
Anywhere, it is anywhere within the blue zone.
Alrighty then.
As close together and as far together as you want.
Just making sure. I will have these ones setted over here. Have the brutes... Have the brutes set right... That's difficult terrain.
Right, which means that the soul snatchers can just climb over it with ease.
Exactly. I'll have the brutes set up with Nephiphilios. Neophytes, thank you. And I'll have the other soul snatchers put over here. And the last bit here. I will have you as a backline assault with your other brethren.
Alright, so... After round 4, this game will go for... This can theoretically go indefinitely. After round 4 ends, we roll a d6 every round. On a 4 to 6, the game continues, and on a 1 to 3, it ends. The game ends on any round when one player's army is routed. However, if the game ends when neither player has been routed, then the unit with the most remaining units, the army with the most remaining unit wins. And since Virus has the most units, he has the advantage in that.
Oh, speaking of my units, I left some behind. The Alkalites.
Alright, now I will deploy my own units. I will deploy... Cornelius and his cultists right here. I will deploy my my Havoc Marines in the Vanguard.
I can tell someone's going for a compact unit.
Well, remember, the swarm is attacking from every direction. We've been caught unaware.
Yes, which I do believe, if I am to take D&D rules here for a minute, should also give me a small advantage. Or at least a inspiration, if it will. Not saying that I'm required of one, I'm just suggesting. It is completely
Well, remember,
up to
you didn't expect me either.
That's fair.
Alright. Now, let's see who goes first. You do the honors. On a 1 to 3, you go first. On a 4 to 6, I do.
Righty then.
Alright, that is your first turn. First turn. You activate first. However, remember, after that, we alternate.
Righty then. Then I will have... If I remember correctly... I will have the Soul Snatchers right here. Move... and jump over terrain to go about...
Reminder that you can run and still cast.
But I have no tokens to cast yet, so...
Yes, you do. You have 1. You get 1 every turn.
Right. But not any useful abilities. Well, not too useful. So I will put myself right here, which I believe is 6 inches away. Right here.
No, remember, you can run over normally, because you have Strider.
Yeah, run over normally.
Okay, so... Well, no, remember, so you're fast, so you can run up to 6 inches. Up to 16 inches, sorry.
So that means I could just simply move myself to this point right here, if I do my measurements correctly.
You mean clip the objective?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could... This is technically the objective. Hold on.
Yes.
Let me move them back to their original spot, which was here. And then I could claim the objective, which is more than 16 inches, right here. Basically, these ones are jumping out of the fray to make themselves known. While the others, the more powerful ones, are laying back and keeping an observation.
Interesting.
Definitely the weakest will die first type of situation. And that'll have me claim the objective.
Okay, so I am aware that If I charge my units, then if I charge my Marines into the your Soul Snatchers, I will be within line of fire. However,
Mm-hmm.
however, if I shoot them and uh, uh, however, I will have to claim that objective eventually. And if I shoot them, they could potentially still survive, which means they could blast me with they could cast
Magic.
with spells next turn.
Correct.
You know, now I think of it, I almost forgot that you could have just that Soul Snatcher cults can deploy 9 inches outside of their deployment zone.
Yep.
But that's okay. I mean, you like to play cautiously, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Let's bring out 9. Okay, let's see, 9 rifles.
So we're going for the safest option here.
Yes.
How fun.
All right, I'm going to shuffle back a bit to get the benefits of. I'm going to shuffle back a bit to get the benefits of Havoc Bound. All right, that is going to be 9 shots from my brothers, hitting on 3s. That could have gone better.
Yes, but definitely you had your shots hit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 shots.
All right, it is AP2. Your defenses are 4 up, which means you block on a 6.
Mm-hmm. And roll.
All right, that is
3
4
sixes and only 1 goes down.
Looks like it. Now you're.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
yourself.
1 survives. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, 3 6s.
No, all the way around.
All right. I called your bluff and I paid the price for it. So.
Was it ever a bluff?
All right, it is your activation.
Yep. All right. So let's see here. This is difficult terrain, but it's cover, so. If I were to advance them here. Definitely. So, I will have the minions here, if I can. Can be moved around here, right?
Yes.
I will have them here and have them stay there for the time being. And that's two Soul Snatcher tokens. So those ones are moved, and it's still my activation, if I'm correct.
That's just to remind you that they've already activated. So they have 1 Soul casting token now. It'll be next turn where they get a second.
And that's their activate.
Hold on. Can you shoot? Can you hit? No, you were too far away.
I thought I calculated that correctly. Well, at least I'm closer. And that... My final move will have the Mutant Soul Snatchers move over...
No, again, you skipped my turn.
Right. Sorry for that. Go ahead. You're up.
All right, I will run my cultists just out of range. All right, over to you.
All right. Now I will have the Mutant Soul Snatchers move. Actually, no, hold up. No, I can't make an attack. Yeah, I'll just have these ones move here. And that'll be it.
Okay, I am not within line of sight of my chosen, so I will get ready to break through this wall next turn. Yes. All right, you go ahead and move all your units now.
Alright then. I think it's time for the Alkalites to have their move from here to support their brothers. On a back line here. Right here, and if I... Yep, that is the correct measurement. Right there. And I'll have the rest of them stay in this spot here. Because this is difficult terrain, and they would have to, I believe, take their entire movement to go over it.
Yes. They can move
Then,
you can move only up to 6 inches through it, but then you can shoot.
yeah, so if I do all of these correctly, then that would be 4 inches. And if I do my math correctly, 4 inches up to here, and 6 inches right here. Or, yeah, so I will keep them there for now.
Okay, then currently both of us have one objective, and then turn 2.
Alright, turn 2 begins, and activation is off. For now.
Yes. So I finished activating last turn first, so I go first. So I am going to move my chosen 6 inches forward. They forward. They find a crack in the wall and break through it with their brute strength.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to open fire on these soul snatchers. First, let's do my flamer. That hits, always hits on a 2, so that's 3 hits with no AP. Go ahead and try to block.
Right.
Okay.
Blocks
so
on a...
You block on a 4. That is 3 down.
Alrighty then. You... Okay, come on. There we are. Or not, apparently. You want to be difficult. You will just stay there for now.
And then I will shoot with 3 rifles, hitting on 3s. Alright, and I have Havoc Bound, and I have Havoc Bound, so I have Versatile Attack, but I'm not using that for now.
We don't want to kill the rabbit too much.
So yes, AP 2, you block in 6s.
Righty then.
Okay, that's the unit. However, this objective is still yours.
Yep. Get over there. Alright. I believe it's still your turn.
No, remember we alternate.
Right. I always feel like, pardon me for this reference, but I always feel like I'm expecting you to be like in a Yu-Gi-Oh game where saying, that ends my turn. But to move the game along, I will simply have my units move. Their limit is 12 or 6 inches, correct? If they move around the difficult terrain.
6 inches if you want to shoot. 12 inches if you just want to run.
I will have them placed here then, right next to the terrain. And hopefully I can get them set in there correctly. try and put them as close as I can to one another. Right. Yeah, that works. That works?
Close enough.
Close
I
enough.
mean, this is how I would fit them.
Yeah. Then I will have the riflemen shoot at your men over here.
Yes.
I think we have two entirely different measurements. But yes, that will be about how many attacks?
10 attacks hitting on 5s.
So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting all the dice here. And launching the attack. So that's three threes, 1 5, and 1 6. I'm guessing the others miss.
Yes.
Alright, so getting these out the way. Then that is...
You block on 5s, so... I mean, you hit on 5s,
You
so...
you block on 5s,
yeah, I
brother.
block on 5. We both block
So
on
that's
5s. They're just basic foot soldiers.
Yeah.
Alright, that is 2
Ooh.
cultists down.
But that also means I'm in range. Oh, I am more than in range.
Correct. I am going to return fire. First of all, Cornelius now has 4 tokens.
Right. Oh
So-
yeah, that also reminds me. The Soul Snatchers, they're at 3 tokens, correct?
The Mutant Soul Snatchers are now 2 tokens, yes.
Got it. That would be about 1, 2.
Okay.
Shouldn't we change the music? I would think people would get tired of hearing this one.
Okay, let's see what...
It was just a suggestion. You can keep it if you wish. I'm thinking
Alright,
about our...
let's see what this does. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get within 18-inch range. Now I'm clipping this objective. I am going to attempt to cast Curse Stride and boost it with 2 tokens, bring me down to 1, so I cast it on a 2. Oh, well, you know, the Dark Gods are not favoring me today.
Looks like the Warp is trying to claim someone today. Oh yes, right. That also means their activation is active here.
Alright, I am going to begin firing, so... First, the grenade launcher. That is a miss. Then the plasma gun. That is also a miss. There are now 6 rifles. Alright, that is 2 hits.
2 hits and I block on 5s, correct?
Yes.
That is one. That one is down.
And now 3 shots from Cornelius himself.
Yep.
Alright, that is 2
Ooh!
hits.
2 hits and I block on 5s. And that is 2 more down. So that's 3. Come here. And you as well. What the world? How many more are inside of that man? Alright, then. I believe it should be my turn now.
Yes.
Alright, then. I will... They can't move. So, and they've already made their attacks, so I will have these, if I can get them all into the search bar. Quickly. Have all of these ones move to join them and make an attack. If I can, that is. If they're in the range to make so. That's 6 inches there. And that activates them. And let's see there. Here to here. That is, I would think, is in range.
You don't actually have any, what is it?
Riflemen, right. These are only with pistols.
Correct.
So their range would be 12. So that means they're stuck there. Alright, then that will end my turn. You're up.
I am going to run my units to claim this objective.
And give these ones an extra token. I believe the range of spells are 12 inches as well, correct?
So your mutant soul snatchers do not have Strider, but yes, most of your no, except for deep hypnosis. Deep hypnosis allows you to move my units by up to 12 inches in a straight line in any direction, which means technically you can move them off the objective.
Wasn't going to be my goal for that spell, but definitely gives me an idea. And I will see the range of that spell. Let's see here. Here we are. Within 12 inch. Deep hypnosis within 18 inches. So that will mean... Oh, it'll definitely hit. But only one of them.
Yeah, if you clip one, you clip the entire unit.
Got it. So I could indefinitely get a free off of the objective, and could have them move closer to them, or have them move closer over here. Actually, that gives me an idea. But that's a later. So, you finished with your turn, correct?
Yes. So,
and that means
have you not actually? You're not. What, you're saving?
I'm making the spell later, but right now I feel like the heavy brutes and the others should finally make their move over the wall. Exactly to here. Because that's as far as they can go. Exactly here, and that should be their range, and they cannot attack.
Right.
By the way, the music stopped.
Yeah, that music was really unnerving.
Exactly. That's why I decided it for this campaign. The next one should be...
If you'd like, you can pick one if you have any MP3s.
Oh, I would normally just get one from my list here.
And by the way, yes, you can shoot.
I thought I couldn't make any attacks due to the heavy terrain.
You can move up to 6 inches. It just means you can't run or charge.
That makes sense. So then I will have these ones also make an attack on your
shotguns are not in
chaos
range, but your rifle and carbine are.
Yes. So I will have the rifles make an attack, as well as the pick brutes. They cannot make range attacks, correct?
Correct.
So then I will just have the rifles make the attacks. And that would be about 3 dice? 4. If I'm looking at it correctly. It should be here. I really hate ads, I'm gonna be honest. I don't pay for Prime! Anyways, Link Man should be a good song for this. Can you hear it, brother?
Did you put it on the cloud?
No, I did not. It should be also in the playlist I sent you.
Oh, you sent it to me.
Yeah, Link Man should be the song.
Okay. Okay.
All of my stream could hear it, they're telling me. The rifleman attack should be about 4 dice. Where is the... The rifle. Not you, not you, not you, not you.
Okay.
There.
Alright, in the meantime, while this is downloading... Yes, you may shoot with your one rifle and your one carbine.
So that would be like 2 attacks, correct?
No, one attack... okay, so your...
1 dice, I hit on...
Okay, so your neophytes. One attack hitting on a 4, and 2 attacks hitting on a 4 that are rending.
Got it. So 1 dice for hitting on a 4. That's a 4.
Okay. Okay, that's
That
1
hit.
down.
And 2 attacks hitting on a 4 as well. That is 1 hit.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Alright, so 1
That
dice.
does not hit. 1 dice.
Alright, let's see what happens with this. With the... Alright, uploading. Okay. Can you hear it?
I can hear it fine.
All
And maybe
right.
put this one on loop as well.
Okay. It's looped.
There we go.
Alright, that is turn 2, right?
That is turn 2. Well, I mean, unless you count my mutant soul snatchers not moving.
Standing by, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so all objectives are mine right now. However, my goal is not to capture objectives, but to destroy you, so... Okay, this is going to be a tough one.
Right. Isn't also your objective is to help someone who's trying to escape?
No, of course not. Of course not. I just care about looting this place.
Definitely in line with the Havocs.
Alright, I am going to... I have 3 spells right now, so... Do I want to stay back and shoot, or do I want to get closer and attempt a master spell? Let's see. Alright, I am going to go for it. I'm nothing if not bold. I am going to open fire into your brutes. I am going to
Remember,
cast...
they also have the chance to regenerate.
Right. I am going to cast Havoc Fog.
Havoc Fog.
Yes, I'm going to cover them with a life-sapping dark fog.
So it should do damage and have a vampiric effect, I'm guessing?
No, it just does damage. Alright, it goes off.
Ah.
That is 6 attacks with AP hits with AP1. So your brutes should be blocking on 5s.
Mm-hmm. Aren't you going to... Alright, okay, I grabbed the mountain!
They are hit.
Yep, okay.
If I cast.
Guaranteed hit if the spell goes off.
Alright,
That's
3
three that
dead,
does
but they have
nothing?
regeneration.
Yep, and so that means 3 of them gets to retry. And I believe the regeneration should be on what number?
5 up.
5 up. Alright, roll the dice. 1 lives! So that's 2 dead, 1 lives.
Okay, so
come here.
that
Come
is
here.
going to be
No,
5.
brute
I'm going to now shoot the 5 guns. No, 5 rifles hitting on 5s. That is 3 hits. You block on 4s.
Yep. And if it does hit, they do get a second chance.
Yes.
So you said 5 hits, correct?
3 hits hitting on 4s. 3 hits blocking on 4s.
Got it. That's two hits. Sorry, two blocks. 1 in case of regeneration.
Yes.
Give me a second. Ooh, they're dead.
Okay, now 1 grenade launcher shot. Oh, it goes off. However, you only have 2 left, so I only get 2 more hits.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see here, and...
Blocking on 4s.
Oh, both are dead.
No,
and
regeneration, remember?
Oh, right. Regeneration, and that would be on 4 or 5s?
5s.
5 it is.
Alright. The
we're dead.
brutes are down. That is the first unit destroyed.
Mm-hmm. And now the Alkalites are by themselves.
Correct.
Which, I don't think they should take a morale, right?
No, they're separate units.
Got it. So that is your turn?
No, I have already... That was my move. That was my cultists.
Alright. Then, if you will, take your initiative.
What?
I asked if it was your turn.
No, my activation just went. I just went.
Alright then, I will have my checking distance. Too far. You. You. Alright. So I will have my minions...
if you'd like, you can assault with your... your leader has a sharp claw.
A shock claw. Alright. No, I will have my minions over here shoot. And that will be 10 shots, correct?
Correct.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
5,
wait,
6.
you only have 7 left.
So that will be 7.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 more. 7. Rolling to hit.
Oh,
3 hits. 4 hits. 3 don't.
Okay, 1 goes down.
1 goes down. We're both getting lucky, it seems. Well, lucky is as in the terms of we aren't having a lot of units die. The brutes were a necessary sacrifice.
Alright, I am going to shoot at your neophytes. With my... I'm going to move a little bit forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be 8 shots.
Hmm.
Hitting on 3s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alright, that is 7 hits.
That would definitely work.
Oh wait,
All
actually,
right.
no, that's 9. I forgot 9, and none of them have died. So that is 8 hits, 8 rifle hits.
And you get an extra token.
Well, no, you have 3 so far. It's the third turn.
Ah, got it. And you have attacked, correct?
Yeah, the neophytes.
So that's hits on 5, so that's 3 hits.
No, that is no, all hits on 3s. These are the
Oh,
marines.
all of them hit, and I block on 5s.
No, you block in 6s. They have AP1.
Got it. One does not get hit, and you are aiming for my
the unit wiped out.
Got it. We're not even gonna do a morale test.
No.
Oh right, they're completely wiped out.
Yes. All right. I'm guessing you have some like terrifying spell to dump on me.
Well, yes, but I was doing research, and I could move you off the point and immediately put you into melee combat with them, because they can cast a spell and still get towards you and attack, if I remember correctly. Or I could
It is any time before attacking.
Mm-hmm. Or they could do Biodisaster.
Yes.
Which wouldn't work, or Brain Burst, which not even in them in range. So I will do.
You can move and cast.
Yep. So I could do. Hold up. I could move these here. Right here. And wait a minute.
I realized I completely forgot about one of the special rules. The darkness from beyond. If a unit has no enemy units within 12 inches, it counts as having stealth. Which means that shooting from far away gives -1 to hit. But you know what? It's
we've already been. We'll just say you guys have lights.
Yes.
So I will move these guys here and have them jump over the terrain a little, because they start from here, and we'll just say they jump over terrain to here.
Okay.
And if my math is correct, they are able to cast, if I can remember the range, they're going to cast Mind Corruption for 1 token.
I see.
And it's going to hit on a 6, I believe.
Okay. No, Mind Corruption means everything always successfully casts on a 4. So
Got it. So
Surge simply means that once you get the 2 hits off, roll one dice for every hit, and on a 6, it doubles.
Okay. So rolling. Let's see if it hits. That's a 5.
Now roll 2d6. On a 6, the hits double. Okay, right. No, on a 6, you get an extra hit.
Got it. That's a 6.
So that is 3 hits.
Alright, and we'll just... You go ahead.
Alright, blocking on 4s. Alright, all blocked.
All blocked indeed. I should have done my original plan instead of trying that one. But I still can do the plan. But they are now activated and can't do anything. Boop. A lot more bold this time around.
So what are you casting?
Oh, I already cast it, remember? These guys can't do anything now.
You have 3 tokens.
Yeah, but they're... Alright then. I will try and cast Deep Hypnosis on them.
So do you plan to move them 6 inches forward so that you can charge with your acolytes?
I was thinking more or less, but of the Mutant Soul Snatchers, but that gave me a better idea, thank you.
I mean, remember, you wouldn't be able to charge.
Yeah, but they can. But Deep Hypnosis allowed to pick up 2 enemy units within deep. Pick up 2 enemy units.
I don't think
18
you can use
inches.
it to move me into close combat.
No, but definitely could lead an assault with these guys. So.
Yes.
And move these guys off of the objective. I'm not going to grab them, just marking them for ease of access for everyone at home. So, Deep Hypnosis. And I'm aiming for your... I'm aiming for your rifleman over there.
Right, you can pick 2 units.
Yep, so the Chaos Marines and the cultists.
Alright, roll to see if it goes off.
Alright. And it's going to be a 5, correct?
4.
4. Rolling. Hopefully it wins.
It does.
That is a 4.
Alright, just pick them all up and move them up to 6 inches.
Alright, and that will be in a straight line forward.
Remember, I control all 3 objectives, and you've lost half of your units. So...
Yep, so I'll have them move at... Okay, lagged for me for a second there.
Which means
exactly,
that at the end of this turn, if you roll, if 1 to 3 is rolled, you lose.
Got it. Okay, what the world?
Okay.
I am now stuck. I am stuck into the tab mode.
Click on the... click F1.
Got it.
Press F1, okay.
Grab.
I'm going to move forward a little.
Just gonna edit them a little so they won't... And they're flipped still. Thank you.
Alright, I'm going to move forward a little, and then I'm going to open fire into your Mutant Soul Snatchers.
They also have regeneration, so be noteful of that.
Alright. First, the Flamer. Hits, 3 hits. Havoc Bound and Versatile Attack, so... AP2. You block on 6s.
Thank you.
Nope, that is... Oh yeah, regeneration.
Yep, and... 1 dies.
2 die.
2 die.
Now...
You...
1 Shred Rifle attack. Yeah, 2 Shred Rifle attacks. Rending, alright, completely ignores armor, so you block on 6s. And ignores regeneration, because that's what Rending does.
That's 1 alive.
Alright, 2 rifles and 1... yeah, 2 rifles, so, that is AP3 because of Versatile Attack and Havoc Bound. Roll once. Anyways, neither of them block, so that's 1 more down.
Yoink.
And then, finally, the Plasma shot. Hit. Blocking on a 6. Oh, okay.
And we forgot about regeneration for that 1.
No, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll do that later.
Anyways,
so
you block a roll for regeneration for that last one.
Yep, and that would be a 5. That
And
one
then
does not
finally,
regenerate.
let me see if my sergeant is within pistol range. Nope, he survives. Now roll for morale.
Morale, which would be a
A
how
quality
much?
test, so on a 3 up. Nope, he is shaken.
Oh, okay, okay, just
Flipped.
flipped indeed. Which they cannot do anything. And that is their turn, so getting that out of there for now.
Alright, now the assault.
Yup.
The screeching assault of twisted forms.
Indeed. So the Alkalite hybrids or the minions are in melee range. So the Alkalite hybrids will be leading a attack on the Chaos Space Marines. All of them, because all of them can attack.
Yes.
So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alright, move them.
And that's also a hand flamer in there, so that could also be counted as a different attack. So that's 9 attacks and one thing.
Just move them in. Okay, so by the way, pistols and as of now can't be shot into close combat.
1, 2. Oh, okay then. So that'll be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 attacks in total.
Wait, let me look at the rules for sharp claw, mutant claws. Yeah, mutant claws.
Take your time.
Okay, that is going to be a total of 14 mutant claw attacks.
Alright then, let's get some
Let's
dice in here.
It is going to be AP1.
AP1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, so wait, so let me check. 6, 10, 14, yes.
14 attacks, and they hit on what? A 6.
Yes. No, wait, they hit on... What is the Acolyte sitting on? 4s.
Oh, so that means, that's not those.
Alright, blocking on 4s. Okay, that is 5 Marines down.
And if I remember correctly, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, now
now
you have your sharp claws. That is 4 attacks with disintegrate, which means that against more units where most models have defense 2 to 3, this unit gets AP2. So I do have power armor, so yeah, AP2, hitting on 4s.
Okay.
Okay, blocking on 5s. Nope, that is 3 more down.
I guess that's why you don't fight me in melee range.
Alright, and now who else do you have? You have a heavy cutter, so 1 attack AP2, deadly 3.
Yep.
Hit, blocking on A5. Nope, that is 1 more down. Okay, all that is left is Josip and Per se.
Make a morale test, because
combat isn't over yet.
Oh, okay then, go ahead.
You have killed a total of 9 of my units, of my Marines.
Thank you, hybrid mutants. You've served your purpose in helping me.
All right.
Well, all but Jeffrey over here. He's just shaken. The flipped one.
Okay, I am going to... First, Josip. Josip has 2 attacks. 2 attacks rending. 2 attacks AP1 and rending, so... Both hit, and you block in 6s.
Two go down.
And Per se has 1 attack. She is hitting on a Yeah, she is hitting on a 2. All right, and it is AP. It is AP2. So you block on a 6.
Got it. So that means I blocked on a 6. That's another one down.
All right. Okay, I have to take morale.
Mm-hmm.
On a 1 to 2, the unit routes. On a 3 to 6, it is shaken.
Get lucky.
Oh, route.
Ooh. Alright. And I'm guessing that's my movement, or...
That is your turn. Yes.
Go ahead, then.
Now, on a 1 to 3, you lose because you route. Because
Got
you have
it.
already lost half your units.
Alright, then 1 to 3.
On a ward 6, the game continues. Nope, that is my victory.
Alright then. Good game, brother. Good game.
Yep, good game. So, that is 1 victory point for me. There are 10 missions in this campaign, and how this goes, since I'm the protagonist, if I get 5 or more victory points and win the final match, I get a major victory. If for a minor victory, either I have to get 5 or more victory points and lose the last mission, or get less than 5 victory points and win the last mission, then I get a minor victory. If I get less than 5 points and I lose the last mission, I get a tactical defeat, and you get a minor victory.
So we'll say my units have retreated from the area and have lost their control.
Okay,
And
so now comes the fun part, upgrades. All right. So.
And in my unit's retreat, they have found a cultist. Not one of their kind, but certainly something to help ease the defeat. Isn't that right, brother? Now, for upgrades...
I wouldn't say licking your wounds, but certainly a consolation prize.
Certainly they deserve it for what they have done.
Alright, now let's first check for casualties. First, let's roll for your Soul Snatchers and see if they permanently die. On a 1, they permanently die.
Alright. They don't. They indeed do come back.
Alright, now your... Wait, what did you roll in total?
I rolled a 3 for them to revive.
Okay, now your brutes.
Alright, and rolling. They live.
Alright, they actually get 1 experience point. They come back stronger.
Ah, so we're going Saiyan rules here.
Looks like it. Now your neophytes.
Well, at least let me put them back on the board. But okay. All right, and get back over there. They live. I may have my entire army just come back.
Okay, now per se, let's see. She can potentially get wounded. All right, she comes back stronger. All right, yes, getting stronger from running away, just like me. Now, the Havoc Brother unit. Oh crap, permadeath. Well, this is awkward.
Don't worry, death comes for us. Oh, I guess not for me, huh? But, brother, don't worry. Your men will die, but you will have many to replace them, won't you?
Oh yes. No. Havoc Brothers are very Battle Brothers and Havoc Brothers are very difficult to replace. So yeah, this is very, very awkward. Now for other experience points. Um, so your acolytes killed a hero and its unit. And its unit, so so it gets 3 victory points.
Wasn't that just fine and dandy, isn't it? So, 3 victory points, and they get what?
Okay. They don't. They will get an upgrade as soon as they get 5 experience points.
Got it.
Okay, now that is the only. That is now your mutant soul snatcher survived the match, so they get a experience point.
So that's 3 or 4 in total.
Who else survived? Your minions survived, so they get 1 experience point. Then my chosen destroyed 1 unit, survived the battle and destroyed the unit. So they get 2 victory points. They destroyed your unit of soul snatchers. My cultists and Cornelia survived the battle and destroyed the unit, your brutes, so they both get 2 XP. Okay, that should be XP for the match. Alright, now for adding points. I just lost a total of 330 points of my army as permadeath. So, however, I won, and the loser always gets more points to its army.
So overall,
as sort of a balancing act.
So you're saying I got a abnormal victory?
Right. So now the swarm massively outnumbers me.
Exactly.
I am going to add a total of let's see. I'm going to, let's see. What do I do with 150 points alone? I'm going to add some... The thing is, you can't really do much with 150 points for Battle Havoc Brothers. I am going to add another character.
Alrighty then.
I am going to add Josip as an individual character. Because he's the only one that survived. So yeah,
I was thinking... Go ahead.
So yeah, he has his sword, his plasma pistol, and I am going to give him the I am going to give him the Agitator aura, which gives his unit Scout. And then I'm also going to add to the cultists the Steadfast aura, which means they can just shrug off shaken at the beginning of a round. If they get shaken, they can shrug it off at the beginning of the round. Alright, so my cultist just got braver, and Per se just lost her entire bodyguard. Lovely.
Yep. And all I'm left with is more souls to help battle.
And now it is your turn. Let me give you a list of units you can add. You get 300 points to spend, and you can get rid of some of your old units and replace them, and add your points back to the list. So, Soul Snatcher cults. Let me just send it. So you got 300 points to spend. If you'd like, you can remove some of your units and add a vehicle.
Well, I was thinking more or less that I remove some of the pistol people, and I've yet to even use the shotgun, so
the
I could remove... Yeah. Although I do like their claw attacks. I will remove the neophyte shotguns, but instead I will add more rifles.
Oh, so you're adding more neophytes.
I'm adding more. No, I'm removing some neophytes in favor for another.
Okay, switching their weapons.
Basically.
Okay, so fewer shotguns, more rifles.
Bingo. I see that long range is a domination of this game.
Alright, so more rifles. Okay, now, however, shotguns actually are extra points, so now you have 310 points to spend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you'd like, you can take a grinder truck.
A grinder truck?
Let me show you what it looks like in 40k. Okay, 1 second. Warhammer 40k grinder. Soul Snap. What is it? Gene Stealer. Mining vehicle. Goliath rock grinder. Let me just get it out as an image. Goliath.
So you're talking about the grinder trucks, correct? Or I could actually buy a battle tank.
That you don't have enough points for that.
Fair enough.
Actually, no. You could get. You could if you get rid of some of your old units.
Exactly, but I don't feel like that would be necessary. Because I didn't do too bad. Could have done better, but didn't do too bad. And the brutes could definitely have their usefulness.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. I'm sure what I'm showing.
Mm-hmm.
A Goliath rock grinder. Do you want to add that?
I will add that, and definitely would be a great addition for them if they could take multiple hits.
Alright, you now have a Goliath rock grinder with no upgrades. Alright, that is the game. I am going to be in a world of pain next game. Actually, you know what? Okay, so this is how games go with point differentials. Points don't have to be entirely equal between two armies. However, if you have more points than me, you can only have up to 250 more points than me, and in that case, for every 50-point difference, I get something called an underdog point. Which means that for every underdog point I can spend to modify all dice in a friendly or in one of my rolls or your rolls, but +1 by +1 or -1. So it's like a fate point.
Oh, and definitely the story here will definitely be fun to write.
Alright, well, Virus has a lot more, a lot to do at this point, as do I. But that game went a lot slower than I expected. Maybe it's because it's just two of us. I have tried multiplayer games, like games with 4 players, 2 on each side, and they're so long.
Yes.
It also ended
mostly
early.
because... Well, yes. Of course we could always hand out more entertainment for the people, but that is on your grounds, brother.
No, I have a bunch of work to do today, but thank you so much for this.
Of course, it's always fun to call back the past and have some fun with y'all.
Of course.
So, I will allow you to go back to your dear meetings with your others and elders. So do remember that I exist. And have fun, dear brother.
Yes, thanks for coming, and expect more to come.